Hey, this is Johnny Kelly from Typo Negative and Patriarchs in Black, and you are watching CMS TV.
It is your Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Down with Bury Me in Smoke. That one going out to Matt in Cincinnati. Just before that, we heard our good friend Johnny Gioeli with Hardline with Dr. Love for Skippy. And we heard the Dirty Denims with Devil in Me for Dude Bro.
Coolio.
Yeah, so I figured you'd like that Down request.
I always am in for Down. They just played for the first time in forever, like over the weekend.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like yesterday or something. They played a show, and I was in like England or somewhere. But they're back play. Even though Pantera's out there doing their thing.
Yeah.
Philip found time for a Down show, so good on them.
Yeah, just gotta go out there and kick out some jams you don't get to play all the time.
That's right. I wouldn't mind seeing another Down show. I haven't seen Down, God, since Rock on the Range in 15 or 16, somewhere in there. It's been a while.
How is that Pantera Metallica thing going? Is that doing okay?
I think it's done. I think that's done now. That it did pretty much sold out every city.
Yeah. And is Metallica going out on a solo tour or something?
They're still doing the two-a-days, but they're in Europe now, and I'm not sure who the openers are for the Europe. But they're still doing it. There's been all kinds of video of them in Norway and Copenhagen and Denmark and all these places. So, but I have no idea who's the opening band for it.
All right,
it's not. I know it's not Pantera.
Sure. All right, very cool. Did you have anything in mind?
I have one of an old punching bag guy of ours, if you would like to.
Okay.
And we would have done this last week, but I was, of course, sick.
All right.
Did you see the news last week about the Blots?
Yes, I did. That was a very bizarre thing. And, you had made a very short comment to me that, alcohol and Facebook don't mix.
That's right. So, to set the story for people that don't know this, Bobby Blotzer, former drummer of Rat, all of a sudden had kind of, what would you call this, a racist post, I guess?
Well, I think, and I was trying to decipher it, and the only thing that I could decipher was that with all these Palestinian protest things, with this protesting Israel and, protesting for these Palestinians and, all this upheaval going on over in the Middle East, I think that he probably was watching Fox News or something like that and probably tipping a few back and just decided, how about if we just kill all the brown people? How about that? Or something. Yeah. Isn't that what his post said? Something to that?
It says, let's have death to all the brown sand jigs. How about that? That's the post.
All right. Well, that just sounds like he just was fed up with all the, what's going on in the news and just decided just to blurt that out there.
Right. So you're not buying his Facebook got hacked story?
No, not at all. That's just a very bizarre thing for somebody to hack a Facebook.
And it does happen, but
I know it happens, but that's just a bizarre. If you're going to go through the trouble and hack a Facebook, I don't think that's what you would post.
Well, and the where it gets curious to me is like then he's posting like a day later. Nobody gets their Facebook unhacked in a day.
Right, exactly.
It takes weeks.
Yeah, because then you have to prove who you are, and you have to contact the administrators, and you have to go through all the shebang to get that reclaimed if that actually happened.
Yeah. It's so bizarre to me because if there was ever going to be a rat reunion with Bobby, with Steven and Bobby and Warren and I guess Juan, they can't have this right now.
Right, of course.
And for him to do this right now or have this happen right now or whatever the fuck, that could not be worse timing, could it? Which I know bad timing is not necessarily outside of Blotzer's forte sometimes.
No, of course not. And the thing is that that's just sort of like you know what? I'm sick of this shit. How about if we just kill all the brown people? How about that?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those exasperated posts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just get fed up and you just wildly tap out on your keyboard and hit send or post or however it works. And, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I just can't believe that with all the talk about the one last run of Rat that's out there right now, that this would happen at this time. This would be the time for him to disconnect his fucking Facebook. It's done nothing but cause him problems.
Well, he has done nothing but cause himself problems. Facebook isn't the problem; it's him.
Well, him having access to Facebook is the problem.
Exactly.
But yeah, we don't have to read this whole thing. I mean,
what's his excuse? Can you read his?
Yeah, it says. I'll read a little of it. Former Rat drummer Bobby Blotzer has addressed a post that appeared on his Facebook page in the early morning hours of June 13th. Metal Sludge reported on the post from Bobby Blotzer's page that we shared in our article, wow, blah, blah, blah. Our article covered the post that appeared late on the night of June 12th or early in the morning on June 13th on the drummer's page. Part of the post stated, "Death to all brown sand jigs," and the inflammatory opinion turned heads all day long. Blotzer has now posted a new message on his Facebook around 7:30 p.m. Pacific on the evening of the 13th, stating that he feels someone got into his Facebook.
He feels someone did that.
Somebody must have.
Its name was Drunk Blotzer. Yeah. That's who he feels may have done.
Yeah.
It was my alter ego that did that.
Yeah. One Mr. Robert Blotzer might have got into Bobby Blotzer's email.
Right.
Or Facebook.
Yeah.
So the message he puts is, so a friend of mine sent me something, and I hate when they do this nonsense. A friend of mine sent me something. Just stop it. Your phone got blown up. You looked and were like, oh shit, what did I do? That's what happened.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion as well.
So a friend of mine sent me something that looked like I posted or replied or something like that. I can't really understand it. So Bobby Blotzer, who's been on Facebook pretty much since it started, can't look at this post and understand if that's a response or a post or a forward or a retweet, because he doesn't understand it.
Yeah.
Really? Stop it. Just admit it. Stop backtracking. But I didn't post that. Somebody got into my Facebook thing here, likely for the fact that I am a political post. There's no hiding the fact that I've always supported the Republican Party, and especially with the great Donald Trump. So somebody's trying to stir something up here. I don't understand what it is. That's it. It's those fucking Democrats.
Yeah, they hacked your Facebook just to post that.
So I can guarantee it now that the Biden administration, Kamala Harris was like, whose Facebook can we hack that'll make a lot of noise and make Donald Trump look bad? I know. Bobby Blotzer, former drummer of Rat.
Right.
That's the guy we'll hack.
Yeah, because he's pretty relevant.
Yeah, he's relevant. He could really, getting him to look bad could really help the Biden vote. Shut up. It's typing capitals. I don't even know how to change for the font. There's no change in the font. What are you talking about? There's the post. Right there in the middle.
Yep.
I can't even sign up on this thing.
Sign up on it.
I've been wanting to get rid of it for a while now, and I'm looking at place to change things. I've no clue. What the fuck? Jesus, he has no clue on fucking sentence structure either. Jesus. Or do you think he's writing this stupidly to try and come off more internet stupid?
Yeah, probably.
This is the kind of shit the bozo over at Metal Sludge does to people between him and Jason Creep. They have nothing going on their lives other than to fuck around with people. So I would put it past it to be something like that. So he's blaming Jason Green and or Stevie.
Yeah. That they created that they made that up.
Yeah. Well, Stevie, if you're that good of a hacker, I might have some work for you. I'll let this sit, and then I'll obviously dispose of the hack. Well, why would you let it sit?
Yeah, why would you let it sit? Why didn't you just delete it right away?
If you didn't say it, why would you let it sit? That's the question. And if it was, if you think it was Jason Green or Stevie, why wouldn't you do something about it?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you file a cease and desist or hire an attorney? If you think it's one of those guys. I don't know about Jason. I don't know Jason real well, but I know Stevie pretty well. I don't think Stevie goes around secretly looking to hack people's accounts. The biggest concern you ever have to have with Stevie is that he saves every goddamn thing you ever send. So you got to be cautious with what you send him.
Right.
Because if your world blows up, it'll come right back to you. But other than that, Stevie, he doesn't do that. To my knowledge.
No.
I've never heard him accused of hacking.
Or making a fake post.
No. I've heard people that don't like what he posts. I've heard that a lot. But I've never heard anybody say this is an out-and-out lie. I'm suing you, and then sued him. Not that I'm aware of, anyway.
Nope. But yeah, that's just kind of that just looks like an exasperated post right there. Just a flippant comment to the protests going on.
I think he was drunk texting or drunk posting, and he said something dumb, and then he realized, oh shit, this could really end what might be coming together. I gotta fucking damage control this bitch.
Right.
But I think it's probably, do you think it's too late? I mean, I don't know. And I want to be clear here. I have no inside baseball knowledge because Eric and I do a show.
Right.
Eric and I have purposely not talked about this because if I say it here on the CMS, it doesn't cause Eric any grief, apparently.
Right.
And if it does, I don't care because I'm not doing the show with Eric.
Right, of course. But yeah, to me, that's just one of those exasperated, off the cuff things. And especially if you're drinking or whatever, you don't think anything of it.
Yeah.
And
you probably forget. And if you're real drunk, you probably don't remember that you did it right away. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I could just see he's watching some bullshit and seeing something on fucking whatever, Fox News or whatever. It's like, oh, them motherfucking sand jigs. Boom. Send. Doesn't remember it because he's fucking halfway loaded.
Yep.
At least that's my best guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's just my guess. That was my initial thought.
Yeah.
So
I really don't. I could be wrong. You could be wrong, but I don't really think it's that Trump supporter hacking campaign going on.
I seriously doubt that.
That seems a little.
You know what? You know what makes me laugh about social media? That
What?
when something like this happens, how many people have to chime in with "You're a racist"?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, immediately. And for me personally, I look at that and go, "What the hell was he thinking?" And then you just move on. But nothing would compel me to get at the keyboard and go, I got to tell him, you're a racist.
Yeah.
You're a racist. What is all that? Why is it important for people to chime in like that?
I'm burning my Dancing Undercover cassette, you racist.
Yeah. Why do they care?
Shut up.
Who cares about that?
Yeah.
Nobody
Well,
cares.
the funny thing is, in 99% of the world, Bobby Blotzer is a picture on a screen, allegedly a player on a CD or a tape, but nobody knows for sure. Honestly, nobody knows who plays what. When you buy one, you believe what's written on it, but
Right.
and I'm not saying he didn't play on it. I want to be clear about that. What I'm saying is there's no connection. At most, these 74 people that chimed in and these 90 comments on this thing, what do you think? 3 have met Bobby Blotzer?
Probably.
And only one of them has ever had more than a, hey man, big fan, I loved Slip of the Lip. Do you think that there's more than one that has had more of a conversation than that?
Nah, I doubt it. But it's just funny. It's like, why do you feel the need to retort? Why is it in your, why do you feel you need to retort?
It's desperation for attention.
That's bizarre, man.
That's all social media is it gives people that otherwise would get no attention.
Yeah.
I stood up to that racist drummer from Rat.
Yeah, look how righteous I am.
I hashtagged him and added him. I showed him a thing or two. Shut up, you fucking idiots. Social media is so fucking stupid.
Yep, I agree.
But anyway, that's what's going on with the blots. I'm not positive if he did or he didn't do it. I won't venture a guess. Well, I will venture a guess. He did it. That's my guess.
Yeah.
But I don't have any knowledge either way.
Yeah. Just common sense says that that's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he didn't. And if he didn't, sorry, Robert, Sir Blotzer.
Right.
I don't want to call him fucking Blotz anymore. You know that's a problem. As you remember, that was a problem.
Yeah. He tried to call into the show.
Yeah. Well, he's Mr. Blotzer to me. Thank you.
Right.
Sir Robert of Blotzer.
Yeah. I think you referred to him as fucking Blotzer, right?
Yeah, and he got all mad about that.
Yeah.
So I no longer do that. I will give him the respect of Mr. Blotzer.
Right. Well,
anyway,
go ahead.
That's that. That's all.
All right. Well, I'm sure that most of the fans who have any interest in this, Dokken pulled out of their European tour this summer.
Yes, I saw that.
I was supposed to accompany them. We were supposed to leave on July 30th and come back August 20th.
Right.
And Don has had some health issues. He had broken his leg over Christmas. Right after Christmas, he shattered his leg.
Right.
And he had to have some screws put in it. And when I was with them back in March and in April in Texas and whatnot, he was still healing from it.
Right.
And, with the issues with his back, after, botched surgery and all this and that. He just decided that he needs to get, and plus he has a torn meniscus in his knee.
Jesus.
So he just felt that it would be better if he would get himself in, healthy.
Yeah.
Before he goes to Europe and does a string of dates over there. So supposedly, they'll try to reschedule for 2025.
Well, it's the right move. I mean,
It is. I agree. I completely agree.
Do you really want to see broken down Don
sitting
in a chair? Because he would have to, and he won't.
And he won't, and he doesn't want to do it that way. So I guess they posted out there yesterday an announcement. It is with heavy hearts we have to inform you that all scheduled Dokken European summer dates need to be postponed due to ongoing complications. After extensive neck surgery and recently a fractured ankle, Don will not be able to stand for prolonged periods of time, nor travel overseas at this time. Don believes the European fans deserve the best possible farewell. With this in mind, he will do his best to make good in 2025. Thank you for understanding and your continued support. So I agree with you. It was the right move. I text back and forth with Don about it. He says he's doing okay. He just needs to get his knee fixed and need to get his ankle healed and needs to, deal with a couple other physical issues before he decides to make a European trip. And
so is he done for the year?
No, he's got some dates coming up. I'll see him in 2 weeks. He's going to play here actually. About 30 minutes away from here.
Is he going to be able to play?
Yeah, he can play. He played in Albany, New York last week.
Okay.
And he can do the onesie twosies, but not a string of dates, and then travel to Europe and go through the airports and do all that.
So it was more the sitting in the uncomfortable seats and all that other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just, it's just the right move. Because between the knee and the ankle and, the back surgery that he had a few years back, that still is giving him some issues. He just wants to get rehabbed before he makes a trip to Europe.
Right.
That's basically all there is to it.
Well, it's the right play. I mean, we've been hounding on tonight, but I mean, just for the last months, how much have we hounded on? If you're not healthy enough, don't play the shows.
Right. He doesn't want to sit in a chair. He doesn't want to do that. When we were doing he did the show here in St. Charles, and then the following night we went to Minnesota. We went to Minneapolis.
Right.
And he did the St. Charles show standing up. But then in Minneapolis, because it was just too much in 2 days in a row, he got through 3 or 4 songs, and then he had to kind of sit a little bit during a few songs, and then he was able to get up and move a lot around. But then in Texas, he was able to get through the Texas shows without sitting down. So but it's tough, man. It's especially the meniscus. I don't know that the ankle is so much a problem because he seemed to be moving around on that. It's just that knee. He needs to get that fixed.
Yeah. It is crazy the number of people that are just still out there touring and breaking down.
Yeah. Well, Don is 70. He's going to be 71 very shortly.
We never did see that before, though. Did the bands just retire before?
I don't think they were out there touring around at 70 years old or even older. I think they kind of stopped touring when they were in their late mid-60s, maybe.
Yeah, and a lot of those guys died too, like young, like
True.
Doors and
True.
Most of the Beatles and
Yep. Yeah, Don's birthday is coming up here in a few days, and he'll be 71. So
it's too bad Don didn't have Beatle money. Those guys seem to be perfectly healthy.
Yeah. Rolling Stone money.
Yeah. I guess that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like that. I don't know. Have you ever seen that Russell Brand movie, Get 'Em to the Greek?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Puff Daddy is like the head of the record label. That's
right.
And Jonah Hill is the caretaker of Russell Brand, All the Snow, his
Yeah,
rock star, and he goes, he can't be pushed out there and keep doing this stuff. You're going to kill him. He goes, these British motherfuckers, they never die. Look at the fucking Beatles. Look at those fucking Led Zeppelin guys. Look at Ozzy. Ozzy's going to outlive Miley Cyrus, for Christ's sakes.
It's true.
Those British motherfuckers never die.
It is amazing when you see, like, isn't like Paul McCartney like 80?
Yeah, he's 80.
And he's still, and obviously Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
I guess when you've got billions of dollars to take care of you, there's no stopping you. But
True. You have the best of everything.
yeah,
You know,
just like Ringo.
Good diets, good workouts, good healthy living, you know.
Dude, this has nothing to do with any of that, but just since we're talking about the Beatles for a minute, I read a story this week about Pete Best.
Yeah.
Do you know, I knew nothing about Pete Best other than he was the original guy.
Right. Before they made it big. Right.
So Pete Best, you know, it's always been kind of like the running joke of, you know, that guy lost millions and blah, 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 right? You know.
Yeah, of course.
You know, that's kind of the running joke. When they released the anthologies, the Beatles anthology, was at 95 or whatever?
Yeah. Those two double albums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, which were just shit. I have them. They're garbage. It's just studio nonsense, really. But they had Pete Best stuff on it.
Yeah.
He made $8 million.
Really?
$8 million.
Oh, shit.
That's the power of the Beatles.
Yeah, no kidding.
This guy was broke his whole, maybe not broke. I don't know if he was broke, but he was not wealthy.
Yeah.
For most of his life. But then they released that anthology, which he was a part of.
Yeah.
And he made $8 million.
And you know what? $8 million to a Beatle, to a real Beatle, means nothing.
Nothing. That's like me giving you a dollar.
I think Paul McCartney is like a billionaire, right?
Yeah. Close. I mean, he does have several divorces, doesn't he? Oh, no, they're dead.
Just one.
Just one.
Yeah, that Heather Mills.
And he shouldn't have to pay full price for that.
Yeah. Yep. So, you know, Linda McCartney passed away, and then he married that one-legged cunt, you know, Heather Mills, and what did she get out of that?
She got a lot.
She got like, what, can you look that up real quick?
I'm looking right now.
What she got, I think it was some obscene amount of money for what? Nothing.
Well, wasn't she with him when he did Say, Say, Say?
No.
No? This is after that?
Yes.
Well, let's see. She got $48.6 million to settle their divorce.
Yeah, almost 50 million.
And she took a lump sum of $33 million plus assets worth $15.6 million.
Yeah, so she walked away with about $50 million.
Yeah. She didn't do as good as Phil Collins' ex.
Well, Phil had 3 exes.
I'm talking the one that we hate.
Yeah, I know, but if you add up all the Phil Collins money on all 3 exes, it adds up to over like $100 million.
Yeah, well, Phil was an idiot.
I agree.
Why in the world would you be Phil Collins and fucking buying rings?
Yeah, why are you getting married?
That's just dumb.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's like, man, you could have whores come in and blow you all day with that kind of money.
And then to marry one that you already know you can't live with again. What are you doing, Phil? I guess it just shows all of his brain power went into musical creativity.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's dumb as 2 fucking stones when it comes to fucking dating. Jesus.
Yeah. And not a Rolling Stone.
No, not a Rolling Stone either. The kind that you have in your yard.
Sure.
Just the kind that you can't squeeze blood out of.
Right.
But somehow that fucking ugly fatty did.
Yeah.
She squeezed 50 million drops out of that thing.
Yeah, no shit. Well, speaking of big money.
Yeah.
Queen strikes a multi-billion-dollar catalog deal. Did you hear about this?
I did, and well. Read the deal first, then I'll comment.
While there are numerous iconic bands that seem to shape the music of or the future of music, few compared to the massive success of Queen. Forming during the 70s, the band consisted of Freddie Mercury, Brian May, and Roger Taylor. Bassist John Deacon would join the group later. But throughout the years, the band released 14 studio albums before Mercury passed away. And at the time, they sold 300 million albums thanks to hit songs like We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, and Bohemian Rhapsody. With Queen carving out their own piece of history, it appears the band's music catalog is selling for a staggering amount of money. Throughout the years, Queen's catalog has switched hands, with its currently belonging to Disney. Universal still controls the distribution rights, but in a couple of years, that is all about ready to change, thanks to Sony eagerly wanting to own Queen. According to reports, Sony is on the cusp of purchasing the band's catalog for a whopping $1.27 billion.
That's a lot of money.
While a massive sale, the deal will include the band's royalties and distribution deal. So they're going to get totally bought out, I guess. They're going to but how old are they? They're like 70s and two, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So whatever they calculate their royalties will be for whatever the extent of time that is, they'll get that all paid up front. They don't have to wait on it. They just get it now. Although gaining the catalog of Queen, Sony won't own all of the band, as Brian May and Roger Taylor still control revenue made for live performances. The band continues to entertain fans around the world as they tour alongside Adam Lambert. The historic sale didn't happen overnight, as Sony worked years to make the deal happen and even needed to outbid a mystery buyer willing to pay no more than $900 million.
Is that all?
That's all, just $900 million. While nearing the end of the sale, the purchase will be one of the largest made by Sony. Back in 2021, the company decided to purchase the rights to Bruce Springsteen's music for a price tag of $500 million. It wasn't just Springsteen either, as Michael Jackson found his music catalog up for grabs, which sold for $600 million. With the Queen holding countless hit songs and a legacy that continues to this day, they currently reign supreme with the sale that makes them champions in the music industry.
They are the champions, my
They
friend.
are the champions. $1.27 billion.
It's a lot of money.
That is a chunk of change.
And what's ironic about that is they're not, there's 4 artists that have sold more than them. Beatles, Michael Jackson, Elvis, and Elton.
Yeah, well, Michael Jackson, I just read, 600 million.
Yeah, and Beatles are at 600 some million as well. I wonder, has Elton John sold his catalog?
I don't think so. At least I'm not aware if he did.
Am I crazy in thinking that here in the States we don't get Queen fully? Like they're much bigger outside of here?
I don't know, to be honest with you, because I'm not a Queen aficionado. To be honest with you, the only songs I know by Queen are the ones that were the radio hits. That's right. It. I can't name a Queen song that wasn't one of the hits.
Yeah, that's all I own is the greatest hits.
Right.
But I think outside of here, they're huge.
Are they?
I think.
Again, I don't know.
I mean, just like here, if you talk about the greatest guitar players of all time, very rarely it's some Rolling Stone douchebag that'll have Brian May in that list.
Okay.
But if you go overseas, Brian May's on every list. Is like in the top like 5.
Okay.
And I mean, you've seen the Live Aid stuff and the concert footage. I mean, they played in front of massive, massive, massive crowds. But they didn't even tour here in the States the last 10 years of their existence without with Freddie. They only, the last, unless I'm totally crazy here, the last American tour of Queen was 1982.
Okay.
And so that makes me think they weren't that popular here in the States. Why would they not tour the States?
Yeah.
I mean, mid 80s, that would have been what? One Vision and what was the other songs that they had? Well, they had One Vision.
They had Radio Gaga.
Radio Gaga. That was garbage, but so was One Vision was okay though. I don't know. I just don't know enough about that band, to be honest.
Well, I think their biggest heyday was in the late 70s.
Oh yeah.
You know, that's I remember when they did tour the States, and a few people that were older than me were going to go see Queen.
Okay.
They were, talking about, that they were going to go see Queen. And I think that was when they had the big stage set where they actually had, it was like a big crown or something on the stage, and it would rise up and they were inside the crown. It was all like lit up in there or something. But I think that was their heyday as far as the U.S. popularity of Queen.
Okay.
I think during the whole "We Are the Champions."
Yeah, and that's the 70s.
That's the 70s, and then into the 80s, their popularity kind of waned.
Yeah.
Here in the States anyway.
Well, and again, it didn't play here at all. So, but I mean, overseas, they're still massive. I mean, massive.
Well, it's just one of those things,
Yeah, it's just weird. Like any other artist you name, like Elton John, who's same basic number of sales as Queen.
He's international though, but I think Elton John kind of broke in the States.
Yeah.
Because he was playing like the Troubadour and stuff before he made it big, and he was also writing for other artists prior to him becoming a big artist himself.
Right. Who do you think was better, him or Elton John?
Who?
Queen or Elton John?
Better in what regard?
Just better.
Which one would I listen to first?
Yeah.
I would probably listen to Elton John first.
Yeah, me too. Dude, I don't know what they were doing, if they were blowing each other or whatever they were doing, but that combination of him and Bernie Taupin wrote, if you listen to Greatest Hits 1 and 2 from Elton John, that is fucking 25 songs in a row that are all great.
In a row?
In a row. Like Cox in a Clerks movie.
Right, exactly.
It is 25 straight great songs. And even half of Greatest Hits 3 was pretty good. When they had all the I'm Still Standing. And,
yeah, the 80s stuff.
Yeah, Nikita. And
the 80s stuff, yeah.
Wrap It Up.
Too low for zero.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was for those, what would that be, 5-8 years or whatever that Elton was going. But he's another one. Can you name songs from Elton John that are not hits?
Not really.
Maybe one or two, but not a ton.
No.
But you can name the hits like Nobody's Business, you know.
Because there were a lot of them.
Yeah, and they're still staples. They still get played all the time. Daniel and Your Song and Tiny Dancer. That shit is still popular.
Hail and Kill Caller, you're on the air.
That's only because, unfortunately, Queen released Hot Space, which was not a good record. And although it did have Under Pressure on it with David Bowie, which was a masterpiece. But unfortunately, America never got The Works, which was the next album, which was an absolute masterpiece, and A Kind of Magic. And it's a shame because both of those albums are incredible.
What do you mean we didn't get them? We had them because that had Radio Gaga on it.
Yeah, but it didn't get the mass exposure.
Yeah, it didn't catch fire here.
The game.
I thought you were saying it wasn't released here.
No, it just didn't catch fire.
No, they were released, but they didn't get the mass exposure that the game did, and News of the World and all that, and Jazz and all that. It's a shame. It's a shame because of all the rubbish that was on Hot Space and Freddie Mercury going into the gay discos and all that stuff. That album was just weird.
Right.
It blew their career in the States, unfortunately, I think.
Well, Tim, speaking of gay guys that write songs, when are we going to play your song on the air?
Oh, by the way, Tim, I wasn't ignoring you. I appreciate you sending your song over. That's pretty damn good.
It's a good song.
Yeah,
that's what you should have. That's what you should have done prior to Junk Punch.
Yeah. I agree with you, but it's all about having the money to do it.
Well, I understand, but what I mean is, sending it to us first so we could hear it and go, "Damn, Tim, you knocked it out of the park," or "Not so good." Don't put that out.
Yeah. But it's been mastered, and we're doing all the artwork and stuff now. It'll be out soon. But
Is this a single or an album?
It's just a single.
Just
at the moment,
a single.
yeah.
Okay, all right. So there's no more songs. It's just this one song.
I know. Rick and I wrote a bunch of songs.
Okay.
But this is the first song. This is the first song we're leading with.
This is your first Hitbound single?
Well, I'll let other people be the judge of that. I certainly hope so.
I'm going to say this, and I'm not even kidding for all the fans. This is a good fucking song.
That's a good song. It's such a you wouldn't even realize it's the same guy. You go, holy shit. You re-engineered yourself, Tim.
He did. And I'll tell I'll tell the story real quick. When Tim sent it to me, like him and I were messaging back and forth on Facebook or whatever, I must have listened to it 20 times in a row while we were talking. It's got a huge hook in it. It's a great fucking song. It's really good.
Very, very catchy. It's a catchy song. It's catchy, just like the HIV.
Yeah. Well, I'm working with Australia's version of Don Dokken. Like it's like the equivalent of me working with Don Dokken in the States.
All right.
That's who I'm working with. Anyway,
well, your musicians, I don't want to say who they are, but your musicians are from like huge bands, right? Like huge bands.
Yeah, sure. I can tell people that it's Garth Brooks' bass player and Willie Nelson's bass player played bass on it, and Sheryl Crow's drummer played drums on it.
So you went from Junk Punch to working with Sheryl Crow and Garth Brooks's people.
Yeah. I mean, that's because I graduated from AIM, the Australian Institute of Music, and my composition teacher was best friends with Rick Price, who's an ARIA award-winning singer-songwriter. And, so there you go. Life's good.
Well, when you're ready to debut it, Tim, you let us know, because we will definitely debut it here. It's a really good song.
Yeah, you guys got it before. Have gotten it before anybody.
Well, of course. Who else would you share it with?
As it should be.
Yeah, damn straight.
Damn right.
Anyway, it's a shame that those Queen albums didn't do better in America, because it's really good music. Anyway, Hail and Kill.
All right. Here goes Tim, the music lover.
That's right. Yeah, I was blown away by that fucking song. I really was. I thought he was fucking with me. I ain't gonna lie. When he first said it over, I thought he was fucking with me.
Yeah.
I thought he sang over some other like track that I just didn't know. You know, I thought it was like a song I didn't know, and he just put his voice on it.
Well, it's definitely a professional grade song for sure.
It's legitimately, and I don't want to be this guy, but it could legitimately, if it got heard by the right people, be a hit.
Yeah. whatever it is these days.
Yeah, but I mean, I could see Sirius XM playing it on their middle of the road station
Right.
like 14 times a day. It's catchy.
Sure it is.
And again, having that pedigree of guys, that's going to get him noticed. You know, having Garth Brooks's fucking people work. Garth Brooks is in the top 5, I think, of all-time sales. And his guy played on it. That's fucking pretty impressive, man.
I agree.
Got to give it to Tim on this one.
Yeah. Yep.
We love to fuck with him, but this is one time we can't.
Yeah, he's got a good one on his hands.
He really does. Hey, it's Chris Aiken from Chris Aiken Presents, The Classic Metal Show, and The Seth Williams Show. Now, we know it's frustrating to have to use this website for videos, that website for podcasts, and still another for the live shows. Well, let's end that shit right now. Get the Locals app and get it all in one place. This is free, folks. You don't have to pay to get most of the great content that we're doing. Like I said, it is free. On your phone or device, just go to locals.com in your iOS or Google Play Store, install it, and create an account. Open the app, surf to the search from the bottom, and type in Classic Metal Show. Then click Join. That's it. Once you join, you can click on the triangle button at the bottom, and you can select from videos, live streams, both past and active, or podcasts. Watch and listen right there. When a stream is live, you can participate in the chat right from that screen if you choose. If you want our exclusive content, just click support when you visit the Classic Metal Show community. It's simple, and it's the best way to stay engaged with all of my shows, so sign up today.